Figure out how to turn everything on there. Can we have a roll call, please? And when you give your name and when you say here, give us your location too, please.
Commissioner Bagley,
Here, Farmington Hills.
Commissioner Herzog, Commissioner Damian,
Here, Troy, Michigan.
Commissioner Costin,
Here, Clarkston, Michigan.
Commissioner LaFontaine,
Here, Birmingham, Michigan.
Commissioner Long,
Here, Commerce Township.
Commissioner McGilvery,
Here, Madison Heights.
Commissioner Nash,
Here in Farmington Hills.
Commissioner Quarles,
Here, West Bloomfield.
Commissioner Vanderveen,
Here, Executive Office Building.
is that Waterford or Pontiac?
That's Waterford.
Okay. Commissioner Herzog,
Here, Royal Oak.
we have 10 members present, Commissioner, or Chairman.
Thank you. We can all rise for the national anthem, or the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
Flag
United States of
United
America,
States of America. And to
to the Republic.
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation, under
under
God,
God,
Indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First thing we need is an approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion. Someone else.
Motion by Vanderveen, supported by Herzog. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Like sign for those opposed. Motion carries. Next, we have approval of the minutes from November 4th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Jamian, supported by Nash. Is there any discussions or corrections on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Like sign for those opposed. Motion carries. Next, we have public comment. Is there any public comment?
There is no public comment on the phone, or we receive no emails.
Thank you. Next, we move on to communications, capital improvement expense summary.
Yeah, referring to page 16 of today's agenda, you do have one item on the consent agenda. It's requiring funds from unrestricted net position. That's $29,796. That's on page 56 and 57. And your balance unrestricted as of September 30th is 18.6 million. Oh, and in addition, because the year-end process was kind of held up, the year-end reports are in this. However, the October reports are not yet available. Hoping that in January you'll be receiving both the October and November statements.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Any discussions? Questions? Hearing none. Can we have a roll call vote on the communications?
Mr. Bagley,
Here, yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Damian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Well, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have A through P. Is there any questions or discussion on any of the items in the consent agenda?
I'll move A through P.
Chris? E?
I'll move A through P.
Okay. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Bagley. Is there any discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call vote on the consent agenda, please?
Yes, for consent, Commissioner Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
and Bagley.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the regular agenda. Item A, fiscal year 2021, Oakland County Parks and Rec Millage Appropriations Resolution. And Form L 4029.
So this is the document that has been approved by the Board of Commissioners for the levy of the 0.35 mils for the election millage on November 3rd. So this is the process that notifies all of the local units of government to help them levy those tax dollars locally.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move it.
Moved by Jamian. Is there support? Supported by Costin. Discussion? I just want to say, I want to give a special thanks to all of you who supported the millage. And in particular, Dan and his entire staff who worked hard on their own time to make sure that this got done. We stand in pretty good shape, I think, now that we've got an increase, and I'm looking forward to the next few years.
Thank you, Commissioner. I echo those sentiments.
Okay. With that, motion's been made and supported. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Did you say Costin? Yes, I'm sorry.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you, Vicky. Next, we have proposed fiscal year 21 to 23 millage budget amendments. Dan?
Yep, Jeff actually has this one.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Referring to page 63 of your agenda, this goes, of course, hand in hand with the resolution you just passed, doing an actual budget amendment. We do anticipate an increase in property tax levy right now of $7.8 million. We're going to reduce that planes to balance and budget the rest in the expense account called budgeted equity adjustments for the time being. Of course, as we go through the budget, we'll be changing for the trailways and for SISMA and the other millage initiatives.
So we'll have a series of amendments as we go through this year.
Okay. Is there any questions, discussion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Can I get some motions?
I thought we got that, but maybe we didn't. I'm sorry. Jumping ahead of myself here again. We have a motion. Motion by Costin, supported by Vanderveen. Now can we
With
have
that,
a
I'll
roll
do a
call?
roll call. Okay. Commissioner Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvert,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
and Jamian.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Next we have approval of the 2021 Commissioners meeting dates, times, and schedule. Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Moved by Jamian, supported by Long.
Locations may change over time depending on the COVID situation, whether we can meet in person or not.
So I hope we can someday soon.
Dan, are we going to do some visits of other facilities as we had planned before COVID hit?
Visit what, Dave?
Before COVID hit, we had planned on having meetings at other locations around the county.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna resume that practice when we can, I assume.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Yes. For the meeting schedule, Commissioner LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
can you make an announcement that anybody that's watching or on this video meeting that's calling from their phone or car, turn the mute off? Because it's kind of annoying, the background that we're hearing.
Nancy? Well, it got
Yes,
quiet. Maybe
yes.
she-
Yes, I
Yeah,
had to turn the mute. I had to turn my turn the mute off.
okay. Yeah, if you can, keep it muted because we were getting a lot of background noise.
Oh, okay. I thought I was. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
Okay, next item is a request for proposal, RFP to evaluate golf course operations. We have a motion.
I'll move.
Moved by Vanderveen, supported by Nash. Is there any discussion?
I have a
Dan?
question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it anticipated, Dan, that this overview by the consultant will include our organization as well?
Yes.
Okay.
You're talking in terms of staffing and reporting lines and
The
position.
Yeah, the RFP mentioned project goal and it said management. I assume that included the organization that we have to run the golf course business.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Chris?
Okay, sorry, Chairman McGilvery, I won't open the agenda item. So what is the total funding and where, funds, and where is the funding coming from? My agenda item won't open, so I want to make sure.
We do not have a cost yet. This would just be releasing the RFP. We do have some funds available in our contracted services. But I know Commissioner Vanderveen also was going to be securing some funding from economic development as well. So that question and answer would come back to the commission when we have a consultant on board with a proposed cost. We would have the funding sources identified more firmly at that point.
So at this point, Phil, we're just going out for RFP, which just costs your time, correct?
Correct. And the RFP is basically done. So we get that released, we would, our staff time to evaluate and bring back a proposal. We're not committing to anything at this point except releasing the RFP.
So Paige,
Okay, and so then, Dave Vanderveen, then at that point, maybe when the RFP comes back, we'll see the funding more if we can get any grants or anything, correct? So this is just,
I've been
Okay.
having an ongoing conversation with
Okay.
Scott Carlson, the Economic Development Director.
okay, thank you.
so your timeline for the project is on the bottom of page 66.
That's somewhat fluid. It's a very tight time frame trying to get the information out to a consultant and get recommendations for next operating season. So we're on a very tight time frame. And that's going to depend on the commission schedule and potentially, depending on when that January commission meeting is, if we're ready or if we need to schedule a special meeting to do an approval of this, we'll be tight with the holidays and depending on our response time from the consultants.
Phil, do you anticipate that we'll be approving the bid in January?
That's my time frame to allow the consultant enough time to do work and get a recommendation back to the commission in March before we open the golf courses. It's a tight time frame, but it's kind of the best we got right now.
Okay. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
For the RFP, Commissioner McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
Egley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item we have is item E, proposed 2021 Oakland County Parks fees and charges. And I guess that's Tom Hughes?
I'll start out. This is Sue.
Okay.
Just to give you a little history, several years ago, our executive officer came up with this idea that why don't we put all our fees on a pocket card that we can carry around? And when somebody asks us how much it costs to use a golf course, all we have to do is pull it out of our pocket and we'll know. Well, now I think we have to carry a binder around because we've grown so much. Staff have done a wonderful job identifying trends and peak times and usage and come before you with these recommendations. Just a couple highlights with these. We will go over the changes only. And if you have any questions in regards to any fee that we are charging, we'd be more than happy to explain it to you. I will start out with RPS. RPS, the majority of our rentals, recreation programs and services majority of our rentals we are seeing are coming through RAP, which is good for that we are utilizing the money and people are using the service. We are seeing some paying customers, but we feel that that outreach is valuable to the local communities. We do have appreciation days as outlined, where people can use the park for free. And they are around Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And then lastly, we do have work with the Volunteer Association. We're Oakland County volunteers, and it's not just Parks and Rec volunteers, but it could be a volunteer at the zoo or any other organization. There's a reciprocal agreement that you can have use of the day use park for free during volunteer week. So those are 3 things I wanted to highlight. And I will turn it over to the birthday boy, Tom Hughes, and also the birthday boy 2 weeks ago, Jim Dunleavy.
Hey, so I'm going to go first really quick. I got this up on the screen here. And there is an error on the Orion Oaks Park, the pavilion. There's no changes. It should be $75, not $7,500. So if we can correct that. And then the other one next up is the renting the bunkers at Springfield Oaks. So now we're looking at renting the space upstairs as like a rental house. We were kind of using similar prices as we use at Lookout Lodge. So that's kind of the idea behind that. So we'd rent that in about the same time frames. And so people could rent that mainly on the off seasons. That would be where we could have someone come out and have a small birthday party or a wedding shower. So that's that. And then Waterford Oaks, we did raise up each of the rental locations $25. Just trying to stay within the same range as the other pavilion rentals and facility rentals. And then I know it came a little bit later, the Grove and Oaks fees and charges. We're looking at changing one of our 4-person cabins to a 2-person cabin. So that's the fee for the 2-person cabin that you'll see there. So that's $80. And then we have another fee, and it's kind of just like an upcharge for the holidays and special event weekends. And it's a $5 additional fee per night. And then we adjusted a few of the other fees in the campground and at some of the other cabins too. So I'll turn it over to Tom unless there's some questions for me. Are there any questions? Okay, Tom, you're up.
I don't have any changes on my end. We did a lot of modifications to fees last year for the campgrounds. We did have the 2-person at Edison already, which was a very popular this year. So that's already in place. And golf courses, we'll just put that on hold until we get the RFP results to see what the direction is. And then once we get that feedback, we'll either be evaluating our own fees internally or recommendations from the consultant. So everything else is on hold until that point.
Thanks, Tom. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Dave, go ahead.
I didn't quite get the connection. Sue was saying a reciprocity with the zoo. Could you explain that, Sue?
There's a volunteer association made up of the volunteer coordinators in Oakland County. It includes the DIA, the zoo, Cranbrook. There's a list of organizations that their volunteer coordinators meet. Oakland County Parks volunteer coordinator Jess Watley is a member.
Okay.
And during volunteer week, they exchanged the use of their facilities for free as a token of appreciation for volunteering. So an Oakland County Parks volunteer could go to Cranbrook for the day for free.
I see.
They they have to show their ID badge that they're a volunteer.
That's a very nice program. Thank you.
Mhm.
Is there any further questions? Okay, I guess we need a motion, and that motion needs to include the rates that are listed for Groveland Oaks, because there was some changes.
I'll move it, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Costin, supported by Chris Long. Is there any discussion? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, for the fees and charges, Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery.
Yes,
Motion passes 10-0.
thank you.
Thank you.
Dan?
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge Sue and her staff and Vicky for the extraordinary effort in putting together the fees and charges. Having it all in one place has been a Herculean effort, and I do appreciate what staff has done to make it easier for all of us.
Very good, thanks. Okay, next item we have is F, which is proposed purchase for fiscal year 21, capital equipment, a mobile generator. And this is, I guess, well, first we need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Jamie and supported by Long. Is there, Tom, you want to present, or is there anything to say, or?
Basically, we, through the budget process and bidding process, we had 18 individual pieces of equipment. The updated budget was $353,825. All our bid results came back and we are over budget by $1,254. So requesting funding from unrestricted net assets to include that $1,254 so we can purchase the remaining piece of equipment, which would be the mobile diesel generator for facilities maintenance.
Okay. What is this generator going to be used for?
It's used throughout the park system for events, for stages. I could use it at the URV park. It uses emergency backup power for facilities. The current one is undersized and it's quite old. So having a newer generator that's sized properly is what we need.
How old is the existing one, Tom?
The existing one is, I don't have that in front of me. I know it's at least 20 years old. We'll still keep that one too. It's not going to auction. We'll have that as a backup for smaller events, but the new one would be for the larger uses.
Hardly broken in by airport standards. I'm kidding.
Is there any other questions? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
For the generator purchase, Commissioner Quarles.
I think I saw her, she left.
Yeah.
I saw her sign out, I think.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Vanderveen,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Oh, Quarles votes yes.
Oh, Quarles is a yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes 10-0.
Sorry, Nancy, I think you left on something, came back on something else.
Well, no, I got kicked off for a moment.
Okay. Moving on. Next item is G, which is fiscal year 2020, Oakland County Parks Draft Annual Report.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Desiree Stanfield. This year's annual report, we have decided to do something a little bit different, and it's going to be a digital version. In past years, we've had printed copies, and we decided to make this change for a couple of reasons. The number one reason is due to COVID. A lot of the places that we send the annual report to, the hard copy, are not open. They don't have the regular operating hours. And a lot of our park places are asking not for us to give items as touch points. So there's a couple of benefits to this. Last year, we printed 1,250 copies at a cost of $1,500. And on top of that, I don't have the information here because it's at the office, but on top of that, we had costs for the mail service and also for postage. So, you know, we're looking at a couple $1,000s in savings right there by not doing the hard copy version. We are going to print a small run of 100, and that's going to cost us about $252. We're going to do that through the Oakland Schools print shop. If you look at 97 through 106, you'll see a draft of the annual report. And what we try to do every year is capture the high points of the park system, some of our accomplishments. A couple of stories that we have highlighted in there are, for example, the passage of the millage, how we reacted during COVID and still provided great service, events and parks to our citizens, the opening of the ORV park, the events that we had at Normandy, Catalpa, and then some other things like natural resources initiatives and programming. So if you can take some time and take a look at that, and if I can give you a deadline, and Vicki will send you my email, but if I could give you a deadline of Wednesday, December 16th, to have any comments back to me about something that you see that you would like changed, or you have a question about, then we can get that wrapped up about the end of the year. And generally, the second week of February is when we send out a news release to media. We'll post it on the website. We'll send it out in e-marketing messages. And what's great about that is January is kind of a slow time for media, and we always get 2 or 3 media outlets that will follow up and do stories on content that's in there.
And this is also our kind of scorecard with the residents of Oakland County and elected officials, and gives us an opportunity to share with them the successes of the park system and the services that.
I always say the same thing, Desiree, but I think it's good that it's digital, because I always think your font is just too small. It's too much, it's too busy, it's too small, but see, on the computer now, we can blow it up.
Right, and it does, yeah, thank you.
That's an advantage, because I just think I'm different on it. I like white space on, you know, like when you do political mailings and stuff, and bigger print so people can read it and catch it. I always think these are real busy. My opinion, I know a lot of work goes into it and there's good information. I just think they're too busy. I don't know if anyone's going to read it all. That's just my personal opinion. I think I tell you it all the time. I'm not saying it's not good. I just think I would cut stuff out and make the font bigger. But that's just me. Thank you.
And thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner Long, because in the hard copy that you see there, it had to be shrunk to fit into the agenda. And when you look at on screen, the font will look much larger, and you'll have the ability to enlarge it even, you know, bigger for your viewing choice.
Thank you. I'm just a proponent of more white space, though. You know, like that's something in every corner. It's just a different there. You know, when people used to do newspaper ads. I know the newspaper. I don't do them anymore, but they used to come in the back and argue with me. You don't want to fill every corner. You're paying for the whole page. I said, no, it catches the eye more with white space. That's just my personal opinion. So take it or leave it. Thank you.
Chris. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, let me just check. That's just for information only. We don't have a vote on it. Okay, the next item is H, Oakland County Parks and Rec Commission Fiscal Year 21 Budget General Appropriations Act.
Yes, Jeff back again. The Parks Commission approved the the adopted budget for 2021 on September 2nd. However, the Finance Committee on September 23rd approved a budget amendment for $49,278. So consequently, we'd like to have the appropriation amendment or reapproved by the Commission. There is also the attached amendments on page 109, and a revised line item budget document starts on page 110.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Moved by Costin, supported by Jamian. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Yes, Commissioner Vanderveen,
Yes.
Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Damian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
and Quarles.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Okay, next item is item I, review of the 2020 Oakland County Parks Millage Campaign. And that's,
We have Stephanie
Hey.
is with us today. She was the lead for the millage campaign, both in 2010 and 2020.
Good afternoon. It's exciting to finally get to this milestone of the year, and we really enjoyed November with the obvious and exciting news of the tremendous support that the Oakland County voters had for our millage increase and replacement. So a summary of activities that staff undertook for public awareness are listed on page 115 to 120. I would like to bring your attention, if you were following the posting of results as I was, what was submitted to your packet was what had been posted by the clerk's office as of November 12th. But there has been an increase of 194 more ballots. And as of November 18th, you'll see Phil's projecting what I put together this morning. So I've highlighted the communities. Phil, if you could go ahead and scroll down. I've prepared a replacement for page 120, and we'll have Vicki include this with your minutes so that you'll have this. We just proposed this. So we're available for any input, feedback, or suggestions on public awareness.
thank you very much.
You're
Is
quite
there
welcome.
any,
I see the
is there
percentage.
any further discussions on this?
I was just gonna observe that the percentage stayed the same, a good healthy 76%.
Yep.
Thank you all for your support, involvement, and helping spread the word.
Thank you for all your hard work. Okay, do we need to vote on that, Vicki?
Sure, we can if I get a motion.
I'll move.
Receive and file.
Moved by Vanderveen, supported by Amanda. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it, Chris.
I just want someone to move second it. Good.
Can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Yes, on the millage vote results. Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Herzog,
Yes.
Jamian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes,
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
I think she dropped
Oral?
off.
Okay. Vanderveen,
Yes.
motion passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Jamian.
Yeah, I just want to make one final note. My neighbor on the right of me had a vote for Trump sign. My neighbor on the left of me had a vote for Biden sign. And I was in the middle with vote yes for the Oak County Park. That was the only signage I had in my yard. And everybody was questioning me, well, you know, what do you have to do with the parks and why do you think it's a good idea? Because everybody walks in front of my house because there's a lake there and there's a, you know, it's a dirt road and it's a great area to walk. So it was fun when I had a chance to talk to people to say, oh, you got to support the parks. And, you know, of course, living in Bloomfield Hills, we don't have all the parks that some of the cities have, other communities. So it was an easy sell. And I had signs in front of my business as well in Troy and various other places. But it was a very successful campaign, and it was iffy, you know, because there was a lot going on. But what a team we have, and we're delivering a superior product. And when you deliver a superior product, you don't have to worry about anything else.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion?
The only thing I would say to Greg is they don't have any parks because everybody has one in their own backyard.
Not regional, but it's okay.
Don't be sure, Bob.
Okay, next up, we've got reports. And Fiscal Sustainability Work Group. Sue?
Yes, we are going to be having a fiscal sustainability meeting before the commission meeting in January. We will send out that information to you. A couple things we are wanting to discuss at that is we will have the results back from Waterford Oaks Water Park, the analysis that was done, to review it in regards to what we as staff have done. So there will be a presentation made at this meeting. We are planning on opening Waterford Oaks Water Park this summer, if COVID allows us to. Also, just to update you, we want to bring back our busing program. We received word that the insurance on our three buses went up to $81,000 a year. So there's a couple options we can take with this. So we want to bring back this recommendation to you at this fiscal sustainability meeting. And then, as indicated earlier, the golf is going to be discussed at a following meeting, as well as we're starting to work on the conference centers.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions? Guess not. Okay, thanks. Next, we have item B under reports, update of the proposed fiscal 2022 to 2024 budget process. Dan?
Yes, on pages 127 and 128, highlighted is next Thursday is the kickoff of our budget process with staff. We'll have an hour orientation led by Jeff, Sue, and I to discuss the plans for the process and share with them again this schedule that we're going to be operating from.
Okay. Is there any questions? Okay, next we'll move on to Holly Oaks ORV Park update. And we've got Melissa.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Phil, can you make me a presenter so I can put this PowerPoint up real quick? Thank you. Okay, so just a brief kind of year-end or season-end summary for Holly Oaks ORV Park to share with you today. I know we went over a lot of information last month, so this is going to be more of a brief kind of year recap. Oop, hang on. There we go. So we did close for the season this last Sunday after Thanksgiving on November 29th. Our intent right now is to reopen on April 9th of next year. We are going to remain open for rentals year round. We've seen a big drop off in interest, you know, as the weather kind of gets colder out there, but we are talking to some folks who are interested in coming out over the winter. So we're hoping to take advantage of that while we are closed. Over the course of the winter, just kind of a couple key things we're going to be working on. One is developing those written procedures for sound testing. Our staff have been implementing that based on what we learned from the DNR, but we just need to kind of formalize that and put some documents together. We're going to be constructing a portion of the Dixie Ledge parking lot. That's using that DNR $200,000 grant that we received this year. We're also starting conversations with Marks Lane, which is our sponsorship firm. We're going to actually meet with them on Friday to really kind of focus in on the ORV park a little bit, just with everything that's kind of going on right now and some uncertainties about going into next year in terms of programming and events. We are going to ramp up for those, but we're going to really focus on the ORV park over the next few months since there is such a concentrated interest in the park right now. We're also working just to continue to identify and design future phases of the park as those other portions are able to be open as the mining finishes. And then we are going to refine our rental rates in the process a little bit, which is why you did not see the fees and charges for Holly Oaks in what you approved today. We're hoping to bring those back to you for approval in February. Just a couple of high-level statistics from the season. We were open September 17th through November 29th. We were open for 29 days. We sold just shy of 8,000 tickets for those 29 days. The average was 273 tickets a day. Our lightest day, which was a freezing cold, rainy, muddy day, was 66 tickets. And then we had a couple days where we were over 500. So we were just over our capacity. 509 tickets was the busiest day. We were just shy of $120,000 in ticket revenue and around $70,000 in rental revenue. And then so that was kind of the season details, which obviously spans 2 fiscal years. So the 2020 fiscal year closeout, you can see there are revenue and expense. We were expense over revenue by just under $200,000. The DNR did reimburse us for 50% of that as per our agreement. We already received that $99,986, which means our overall loss for this year was $99,986, which, you know, it's $100,000, which does seem like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, we were open for 2 weeks during the entire fiscal year. So to only be that much in the red and to have that support from the DNR, we're actually pretty proud of that. And we think that next year is going to be a really great year. And that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Are there any questions?
I have a question, a couple, thanks. I'd like to thank Melissa because I sent her a text over the weekend because I have a friend who is one of the engineers, he's a Ford engineer, somehow related to the ORV project. I got to drive one that it was, a lot of the stuff was covered up on it, so I don't know what model nut and stuff it was, but it was a beast. I want to tell you, it was exciting. The power that it had was awesome. And so later on that day, I got a call from the engineer, and this is why I texted Melissa, because he said, where's the Bronco sign? And so in order to make it sound like I knew something, I got a hold of Melissa and I learned that the Bronco sign was down. So I'm guessing that was a temporary sign, or they paid for a while for it.
Yeah, they paid to initially put it up for the launch activity itself, that big kind of hubbub over the summer. And then they paid us an additional $10,000 to keep it up through October because they had come back out for some additional media events.
Well, when you drive down I-75, it pops out, like I said before, like the Hollywood sign out in LA. And so I asked Melissa to send me a picture of it so I could send it on to those Ford people that are interested but didn't see the Bronco sign. And so she was kind enough to say she'll send me some pictures of it. A lot of interest on that Sunday coming home after Thanksgiving. Lots of people out there. Huge success. Thanks so much for Melissa and Dan and everybody for making it really happen, because it's a real attraction for our county, our state, our county. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Very good. Thanks, Melissa, for your report. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to Executive Officers Report. Dan?
Yep, thank you very much. Pages 129 through 154, and then I have some verbal announcements to make. But upcoming events on page 131. Our next commission meeting will be on Wednesday, January 6th at 1 o'clock. Our December Executive Committee meeting is on Monday, December 14th. Just wanted to make you aware that the Christmas tree recycling program that we've done for probably 20 plus years is going to be in hiatus for 2021 because of COVID and also just the lack of staff and having the ability to take care of the recycled trees. So we've kind of partnered with the Arbor Day Foundation and came up with a number of opportunities that a Christmas tree can provide to an average homeowner. Operational plan, we're probably going to be frozen in this for the winter time on page 132. That probably will not change. We did get our reimbursement for the COVID pandemic through the county. That was $98,000 plus. Just wanted to share with you on page 134 a poster that shows the collaboration between us and the DNR and here in Clinton for promoting our parks and working together. The county holidays that are coming up through January 1st, the office will be closed on those days. Our commission meeting for January is again envisioned to be teleconference. We don't see that changing anytime soon. The communication report from Desiree is on pages 135 through 147. We did get a report from Fiscal Services on the revenue for the 2020 auction, and that's on page 148. We are looking on pages 150 through 154, developing for the commission a policy and process for the grant initiatives that were outlined in the millage campaign. We hope to bring you something in January or February. And then there's a update on Normandy Oaks. Vicki, did they get that in their packet?
No, we got that just a couple days ago, so I can send it out to them.
Okay, just an update of where they're at. They're hoping to open the park up in the spring. We had a couple issues that happened, incidents that happened in the park. One, White Lake Oaks, sometime between Monday the 23rd and Tuesday, November 24th, a vehicle was involved in a high-speed chase, crashed into the cart barn at White Lake Oaks and damaged the cart barns significantly and probably totaled out a couple of our golf carts, as well as 4 to 5 may have received significant damage. Our staff has taken care of the temporary repairs, and we will be working with risk management to hopefully get compensation for the damage. Also at Waterford Oaks, we discovered on Monday, November 30th, when we came back to work, that someone had broken into a storage building near the past location of the refrigerated toboggan slide, and stole 3 of our gas carts. They're valued at about $3,000 each. We do have a camera in that location that they were younger individuals, and we're hoping to get to the bottom of that and solve that soon. Also at Orion Oaks, we had a deer stand and a hunter who was involved in some past outstanding arrest warrants from the DNR for poaching. Our staff, our deputies were able to locate him and issued him a series of citations. And finally, we did receive some great news today that Mike Boyd, one of our park supervisors, and he's the park supervisor here at Waterford Oaks, is going to receive the Park Maintenance Leadership Award at the virtual conference that's going to be held in early February. And we also received the 2021 Innovative Programming Award for our, what do you call those things? Safari, not
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. Thank you. For our scavenger hunt program that's had over 3,000 participants countywide. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Any questions? Dave, go ahead.
Just a quickie, Dan, that statewide, is that a statewide award that Mike Boyd got? Mike Boyd?
Yes, that is through MParks, our state professional association.
Congratulations.
Yep. And we'll bring him to a meeting in the spring after the award is presented, as well as the staff with the programming award.
Okay, are there any further questions? Thanks, Dan.
Welcome.
Not much going on with the executive committee, other than we discussed a little bit regarding the request for a bid for the golf consultant, and that was about it. So, is there any old business? Is there any new business? With that, we have, go ahead. Greg?
I just wanted to point out, I think this might be my last meeting on this board, and I truly enjoyed my time. All 3 times I've been on this board, 3 different times, and the first time as a former Oakland County commissioner, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the Parks and Rec Board was a desirable board to be appointed as a commissioner. And my first term, I wasn't selected. And then the second term, I was finally selected to be a board member. And I remember Dave Vanderveen saying to me, "Well, Greg, welcome to the Department of Fun." And I thought he was serious, okay? And my first couple of meetings, I said, this is a lot of work and getting the big package. But I really, truly enjoyed working with everybody over the years and as well as this current board, highly professional and pleased. I'm honored to be part of the team. And with that, I just want to say I look forward some way, shape, or form of working with people on the board and in the administration in the future in some endeavor. So thanks a lot for being part of my life.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Pleasure working with you.
Thank you, Greg, and hopefully you won't be gone long.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for all your hard work as well.
Thank you.
This might be Nancy's last meeting too, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, this is my last meeting, similar to Greg. I'm leaving because I didn't seek another term on the board of commission, but I always know I'm going to be a voice out there. It's very strong for our golf courses.
Good.
And thank you.
Oh, well, we know that too, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to both of you for serving on this board. We appreciate it, all your time and efforts, and we did notice that you worked hard at it, and thanks so much. I appreciate it. With that, we need to go into closed session. So we need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll do the motion.
Motion by Costin, supported by Long.
Mr. Chair, that's for everyone or the executive committee?
No, this is for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Herzog,
Yes.
Damian,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
LaFontaine,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Quarles,
Yes.
Vanderveen.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0. We'll go into closed session at 2:03.
Thank you.
Mic's off, Gary. There you go.
With that, we'll move back into open session. And do we have to do anything to go into open session, Phil?
No, we've got the webcasting back up and going now, so you should be good to finish the meeting.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be added? Any comments?
I
Go
just,
ahead, Bob.
one question, Mr. Commissioner, was the percentage in favor of the millage higher this time than last time? For
Just
some reason, I thought it was like 70% 10 years ago.
slightly less. It was 76.46. This time it was 76.32. So that's very consistent, and it's also, this was the first ever increase.
Well, great job.
Yeah.
People love our parks. My last comment about that is I think COVID gave us a huge help and bump in that because people got back to parks because it was a place where they could go safely and be with their family. And so I think something good can come out of COVID. That was certainly part of it, I think.
Yeah. Okay, with that, I
Happy
think we're all.
holidays to everybody.
Yep, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yep.
Be safe. Rough times out there, so we'll see you all back here in January, other than the executive board, and we'll see you sooner.
Yes, I see that. Happy holidays, everyone stay healthy.
Yeah.
Happy
With that,
holidays.
With that, we'll adjourn. Thanks.
Thank you.